So here we can see our medium platoon has decided to go over here and we eradicate 3 enemy tanks just like that with a good bit of coordination with Humph and Jingles. Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby bringing you a replay in the Comet. Many of you who watch my live stream will know that the Comet is my favorite tank, and that's why you see me using premium consumables on this bad boy. I'm using pudding and tea, one of the probably the least British things that I can really think of. Well, tea fairly British, but pudding and tea could have been tea and crumpets, something like that. But yes, that is why I'm using premium consumables in this tank, because it's my pimp tank. It's the one tank that I really feel is my favorite, and I want to play it like a pimp. So, we are playing on hills. As you can see at the beginning of the game, myself and the other 2 medium tanks in my platoon, Humph and Jingles, are fighting it out for the hill. And there I track that tank, and then I look away from him because I knew that Humph was going to secure the kill and start shooting the other tank. So far so good. 2 clean kills on the enemy tier 7 tanks. Here you can see I'm calling in artillery on this tier 7 TD. I go out to try and be a bit cheeky. Keep him spotted. I think he's sitting right out in the open. Surely he gets artillery. And wow, he just lost a lot of health very quickly. We're able to penetrate his side armor. And there we go. So this was a bit silly. This is very risky coming around the corner like that. I realise how silly it is and I pull back. So we've already done nearly 1,000 damage to 2 tier 7 tanks. The enemy are down 3 tier 7s and we were down 1 until we just lost that Panzer IV there. So right now we're thinking let's just try and dominate the ridge, just try and keep spotting for the artillery and try and not get spotted. You can see the excellent gun depression on the Comet there if you're not accustomed to this tank. I'm just trying to use the gun depression, trying to work it. And unfortunately you see me lose my loader and ouch, we have to use our large med pack at the beginning of the game. So I want to keep the pressure up, I want to keep being cheeky. I'm taking a bit of risk here, but I feel like we need to take these tanks out. I don't want to take a shot from that T-29. Always try and point your turret towards where you think the next shot is going to come from. We can see the weak turret armor there on the IS tank. Now, very interestingly, you can see that all of our bad players are dead, and all of our good players are still alive. There's a reason why these gentlemen have poor efficiencies. And look where they've all died. They all YOLO'd round a corner. If I zoom out there, those are not very strong positions. When there are 3 artilleries, let's be honest, you don't want to be pushing around on hills that early when there are 3 artilleries into the enemy team, when we gave us such a big advantage at the start by taking out so many of their tier 7 tanks. So here we can see our medium platoon has decided to go over here and we eradicate 3 enemy tanks just like that with a good bit of coordination with Humph and Jingles. Oh dear. Because we invested so many tanks on this side, we didn't have time to cover the west, and we've let a Hellcat come into base. A first shot hits him, but fails to track him, and I put a cheeky second shot in. I checked to make sure that KV-2 was actually where I thought he was, so I'm safe. So we just lost Mr. Humph. So I tell Jingles, alright Jingles, you hold the mid-ridge. I'll go back and deal with this Hellcat. And you can see my team is melting, absolutely melting. That SU-152, who we were trying to kill earlier, has had a pretty nasty game with 3 kills. Here we can see going for the ram on the Hellcat. We're able to do 195 damage there. And we're able to take him out. Maybe before we took the second shell because of that ram. Oh, the Hummel takes out the SU-100. And it's starting to get very close now. It's myself and Jingles versus 7 enemy tanks. And oh no, I need to help Jingles as quickly as we can. He skillfully manages to take out the KV-2. I notice there's a KV-1S behind me that has me spotted. But I'm YOLOing as hard as I can to try and help out the Jingles. Seeing how this game is so close now, I've decided to be firing premium ammunition. We're going to need everything that we can get if we want to try and turn this game around. So I don't use auto-aim very much, but I have to get out of the artillery fire, and the KV-1S gets a massive shot off against us. Really good shot by that KV-1S. Jingles is helping me from above, and I'm just trying to avoid the artillery fire. I decide that enough is enough. Now it's time to make my move. I have to take out this KV-1S, and probably just before he shot me again, we managed to take him out. So, Jingles died just before I killed the KV-1S. So, it's me versus 5 opponents. So what am I thinking right now? I'm uploading this replay because I really want to show you guys about how you have to think if you want to try and carry these very stressful situations at the end of a game. I'm thinking the IS was last spotted camping in the base. I'm hoping / thinking that he might stay camping there. Now, if I was the enemy, what I would do is send one of their very nasty artillery out as a scout. The possible scouting directions, for me, would be along the 1 line. I would send an artillery along here. Or alternatively, I would send an artillery into the middle to try and spot. So, I had to make my move up here. I felt I didn't want to camp in the base. And I'm going into a location where I'll be able to scout as much of the area as possible. When you're alone against 4 opponents, in my opinion, you have to be in an advantageous position where you can keep an eye out and be ready to make an educated decision about where you're going to need to attack. So I'm thinking one of their artillery might be turning up here from the west. I think they've gone down the west corridor and now they're going to roll into my base. Just going to speed the game up a little bit here. And there we go. We find that the Hummel is there. I relocate so that I have the gun depression to get the Hummel, because as you can see, the gun depression over the rear of a Comet is really bad. And I figure I'm going to have to shoot and move. I have to shoot and move. I have to get away from the Hummel. And oh wow, oh no, I spot there's an M41 there as well. So I decide it's best to go this way. Let's take out that Hummel. I missed my first shot. Hit the second, and I see there's an IS there as well. We take out the Hummel just before he rams us. Fortunately, we dodged the IS shot. And now I have to take out this guy. There's the first. Unfortunately, poor gun depression means that it takes us a while to get the second in. And my poor gun depression means it takes me even longer to get the third. And so now it's let's GTFO as quickly as we can. I decide that if I reverse, I will not be quick enough. I turn round. And I try and bomb it. And painful. Absolute heartbreak. Absolute heartbreak. That IS managed to take away a possible Kolobanov's and a Paul's medal from us, which would have been one of the most awesome Comet achievements I could get. But oh well, I felt that I did as much as I could. What I maybe did wrong at the end of there is trying to shoot over the back of my tank, which maybe made me a little slow. What I could have done is auto-aimed at the M41 and just tried to escape and just fire at the M41 auto-aim and ensuring that I got away from the IS. I was thinking quite long about what I would have done differently, and that's what I think I should have done at the end. Realised I have to get away from the IS, auto-aimed at the M41 and just made my escape at full speed and hope for luck and hope that the M41 would miss me. But I was trying to avoid the other artillery, and I was just hoping that the IS would be a donkey and stay there and try and shoot me and would not be so quick to follow. But let's take a look at the post-game stats. So here are the post-game stats in that Comet defeat that we just had. We can see that we picked up 1,444 experience for a loss. That's pretty brutal. We did 3,500 damage. Only a very little amount of spotting damage though, just under 300 spotting damage. We killed 8 tanks, and our platoon, you could see, were basically trying to hard carry the game. It was an unfortunate result, and we actually ended up getting more experience than anyone on the enemy team, even though we lost. But such is the nature of a hard carry. I've uploaded this replay to show you that you can get some really close games, you can't win them all. Never give up, and try and always think about outplaying your opponents. World of Tanks is like a big game of chess. Think about where you're going to be able to set up your ambush, and don't give up in situations, guys. This was like the most fun game that I've had in World of Tanks in probably like a few hundred or even 1,000 or a few thousand battles. This one really was fun, and I got my blood pumping. It was good. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed this, I live stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, and watching these kind of games live is probably quite a lot more entertaining than watching them on YouTube just to see my reactions. I think I hit my head on the desk on this one. So I hope you've enjoyed, guys. If you enjoyed this, think about subscribing, giving it a rating below, especially if I've trolled you. So thanks a lot, guys. Good luck on the battlefield, and I'll catch you later.